When we move on the path of gratitude, that is religion. When we work to relieve the suffering, that is religion. When we come to realize the wonders of life, love, and laughter, that is religion. This morning I'm going to be offering you a message I've been wanting to offer for quite a while. It's called Making It Up as We Go Along, Our 7 Principles and the Art of Improvisation. I'm going to talk about improvisational comedy, or improv for short, and its relationship to Unitarian Universalist principles. Now, I know this doesn't seem much like a time for laughing with all that's going on, or maybe it's exactly the right time for us some laughter. Maybe we need a little comedy to get out of our minds. Sometimes it's good to take a step back and find a little humor in it all if you can. I invite each of you to take these next few moments to take a break from the craziness, take a deep breath, and have a chance at a little chuckle or two. Let me begin by saying that I am not a professional improv comedian. For most of my adult life, I was a professor of music, but I have always been fascinated with all the arts and was even a full-time director of music and arts at a large UU church in North Carolina. While I was there, I took classes in improv comedy during the summers at a UU camp in Virginia. After 3 years, the teacher of the class decided not to return and asked me to lead the class, which I did. When I came to Massachusetts to teach again, I taught improv comedy through a local adult education program. As I studied, practiced, and taught improv, I began to see that its basic guidelines are similar in nature to the principles of Unitarian Universalism, and are also essential ideas that are useful in negotiating the challenges of life itself. I became fascinated with the lessons that improv comedy had for living a good, and I would say, a sacred life. Right about now, you might be saying, hey, wait, hold the phone. Classes in improvisation? Isn't that an oxymoron? Don't you just make it up as you go along? And the answer is yes. Improvisation is all about being creative in the moment, but there are concepts and methods for learning how to become better at making it up as you go along. For one thing, there are some basic guidelines that comedy improv participants learn to help guide them. I have taught 3 such guidelines, and they are based on the words yes and we. When you put those together, you get the primary guideline of improv comedy, which is yes and we. The guideline of yes means to accept whatever is happening and whatever is given to you. In the improv world, when someone gives you a line to work from, it is called an offer. For example, if you were to say to me, hey Ken, I noticed you have a chicken on your head, I couldn't then say, no I don't, or don't be ridiculous, who would put a chicken on their head? Instead, I would say, why yes, I do have a chicken on my head. In other words, I would accept the offer no matter what it was and would then work with it. By saying yes, we learn to accept and build upon what comes our way. Acceptance is also the essence of our first UU principle, belief in the inherent worth and dignity of every person, while acceptance of one another and the encouragement of spiritual growth is our third principle. This is how UUs say yes. I have never done improv games online, so this might be a complete disaster, but I'm willing to give it a try if you are. I'd like to demonstrate how this might work with a game I call Saying Yes, but I will need 3 volunteers. If you would like to join in, please raise your hand and I will randomly pick 3 people and write their names down. Let me get uh, my view here. Gallery view. Okay.
Norman
Oh,
wants to do it. You got
I saw one here. Linda.
Linda?
Did you say Norman?
My husband, yes.
I'm
Norman.
over here.
He'll switch seats with.
All right, and I see. Is that Ken? Ken, okay. All right. So for this experiment, I've put you in this order. Linda is first, Norman second, and Ken is third. The first person will say to the second person, I heard that you, or I see that you, something like that, just like the example I used where someone might say, I see that you have a chicken on your head. As I am jabbering away right now, you should each be thinking of something to say to the next person. Now, since this is a church gathering, please keep out politics and sex, I know. After player 1 says, I see you, whatever, then player 2 responds with, yes, I do, or yes, I whatever, and then possibly say why. And then player 2 would do the same thing to player 3. Okay, so we are going to try this. Let me get over there. So Linda, where are you?
Right here.
Okay, Linda, you're going to say to Norman, what?
I have no idea.
Yes, I have no idea also.
Very good, very good. All right. So you would say to Norman, I see that you, or I heard that you, just make up anything.
I heard that, Norman, I heard that you were walking in town with a pig the other day.
Perfect. All right, Norman, where's Norman? Norman,
I'm
you got
here.
Okay, Norman, what would you say to that?
Yes, Ian.
Yes,
Yes.
I walk with pigs a lot.
Hey, perfect. Great. Give them a hand. Woo! Zoom in. All right, they did great. All right, Norman, your turn. To Ken, what did you see or hear about Ken?
Yes, we can, Ken. Wait, how's it going? No, I heard you were fishing.
Good, Norman. You've been fishing, right? Where's Norman? What do you say? I'm not Norman. Ken, what do you say? Ken, did you turn your...
You'll
are you
have to
unmuted?
unmute, Ken.
Unmute.
Uh-oh, I don't copy Houston, over.
Ken, are you there? Where's Ken? Oh, I lost him. All right, I'm going to move on. You get the idea. You did just great. All right. So mute yourselves back again. You did great job, everybody. Give them a hand, Zoom hand. Woo, good job.
It's over? It's over.
That's it, the first game. Okay. So that was the game called Yes and. We may have to initially accept life as it is by saying yes, so that we do not deny the truth of reality, but we do not need to accept and perpetuate injustice. We are all agents of choice and can choose to work to improve the current condition and move it toward a greater future. As UUs, we know we need to commit to change for the betterment of our world and all beings within it. In improv, the guideline of yes and means the same thing. An offer is accepted, and then it is used as the basis to move a story forward. With yes and, we grasp the need for action. Comedy works best when it moves down a trajectory toward an expectation, and life works best when we take action to work together towards a better future. To work together, we also need to respect each other and the world in which we live, which is what our seventh principle is all about, respect for the interdependent web of all existence. All of you, let's see, I'm sorry, skipping it. The last improv guideline puts everything together by adding the word we. The guideline of yes and we means that we need to work together. This is true whether you're an improv group trying to make something funny or if you are a UU church trying to save the world. Improv comedy is not a solo act like stand-up, and neither is life. We all need each other, especially in the tough times. In UU churches, we have committed ourselves through the fifth principle to act in conscience and within a democratic process, and through the sixth principle to do so within a world community striving toward justice. That is the we that yes and we is talking about. It is you and me saying yes, we want a world of peace and we are willing to work for it, and we will do it together through love and hope. Similarly, an improv comedy group has to work together as a team of equals. They must help each other out to create a funny story. There is no leading role or superstar to support. The whole team either succeeds or fails together. It is a lesson the world has yet to learn. If you have been counting, you may notice that I have not yet mentioned the fourth UU principle, which is a free and responsible search for truth and meaning. That is because I think that a search for truth and meaning is the ultimate purpose of comedy. The difficult truths we encounter in life can often be challenging to see and accept. They can be surrounded by deceit or hidden by misdirection. Comedy has the ability of pulling away the shiny veneer of falsehood to reveal the naked truth, and it does it in a way that is entertaining. Some people, for example, have turned away from traditional news channels to find out what has been going on in the world, and instead have turned to late-night comedians to point out the absurdity of the world. Many ancient cultures employed a jokester character among their heroes and gods, and courts often hired their own jesters. The role of all those people was the same: to strip away deceit and keep people honest. Those comedians then, as the comedians of today, know that when people are laughing, they are not fighting. Improv is not just an interesting form of theater. Improvisation is a necessary part of survival. By a show of hands, how many of you out there have had your life unfold exactly the way you expected it to? Nobody. That's right. Nobody. Very few have experienced having this happen, and when life throws something at you, it is better to learn to accept the offer and then make something useful out of it. To live life fully, we need to say yes. To move forward in life, we need to say yes and to move forward together in beloved community, we need to say yes and we. As you can see, I think learning the guidelines of improv comedy can teach us a lot about living in a community of people who seek truth and meaning together. Right now, everything feels out of control and disjointed. There's just too much no, not me. Instead, we need more yes and we. We need to be open to new possibilities, new stories, and new ways of being together. Through the guidelines of improv, we can learn to be more flexible and accepting of life. We can learn to work together for a greater future by recognizing the unique and individual strengths and gifts of each and every person, and then bring them together and finally we can learn to do it all with a sense of joy and hope. Through that which you hold to be sacred, may it be so. Our closing hymn is number 402, and it's very short, so I'm going to do it 3 times. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. And I offer you these closing words. You are you, and I am me. We are both different, which makes us the same. You do as you do, and I do as I do. We do things differently, yet we are greater when we are many, who are one. I will say yes to you if you can say yes to me. And together we shall say yes to life. You be you, I be I, and we be we. Peace be to all.